First of all, just congratulate and give credit to Ohio State. They really good football team. Said that on Tuesday. You know, they got a very talented team, and they're well coached, and certainly played a good game today. So give them credit, certainly. Coming in here, we knew it would be tough challenge for the reasons I just mentioned. And really the first half went probably about the way we wanted to. Obviously, it would have been good to score some points there. But to be down 7 at halftime was, encouraging, certainly. But the second half, obviously, things didn't go our way. Gave up a drive and then 3 turnovers. So to beat a team like this, it's going to be tough to turn, lose the turnover battle. And, that ended up being the way it went. But, hit some turbulence out there. Certainly, I thought our guys kept playing. A lot to be proud of that way. And, but the bottom line is you got to play clean football against a team like this. We weren't able to do that. And they get some credit on that, too. So, bottom line, we'll move forward here. Tomorrow we'll look at the film, see what we can learn. And it's all about what we do moving forward. And I think that's probably the biggest message I can give the team. It's a tough loss, certainly. We own it. There's absolutely no excuses. We own it. We'll learn, and then we're going to look forward, and that's what you have to do, win or lose, and that'll be the key. So biggest thing is we walk out of here, we still got 5 games right in front of us and then 2 more after that. And, you can speculate this and that, but it's all about what we do on a day-to-day basis, and that's what our where our attention will be tomorrow. I'll throw it out for questions.
John, with the 2 fourth-down situations in the first half, the 4th and 3, was there thought to going for it versus giving that through?
Not really. I mean, we were in pretty good position at that point. Not really. The other one, we were, obviously thinking about a fake punt, and we felt good about that until, I called a timeout. Saw their linebackers kind of nudging up to the line. And they had been coached on that during the timeout. I think their coach was out in the middle of the field. Looked like a high school game a little bit. But, we still were going to give it a shot until I saw those guys coming towards the line.
Coach,
Yep.
there's been a little bit of a gap between you and some of these higher-ranked teams in the last 2 kind of play-ranked teams. And you've been a part of some really big wins here in Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
How do you make that split?
You go back to work. There's no magic formula. You just go back to work and try to get better and improve. And, when you go back to January 1st, that's probably the last time we had a game like that you're alluding to. Yeah, I think we're a better team offensively right now, but time will tell. We'll know that in 7 weeks or 8 weeks, I guess, with a bye weekend there. So, we're just going to keep working. I think we're improved. We're certainly more veteran on that side of the ball. It's a big part of it. And, it wasn't perfect today, but we did some good things. And obviously it would have been better if we get Caleb going a little bit faster and what have you. But, again, our opponent had something to do with that. So, there's no magic formula. You just keep working.
Going back to the fake punt thing, before, why not just go for it? What was your thought process? Why not just before you get the review, it's 4th and 18, 20 inches?
Yeah, you can do that.
That's what your thoughts were.
Field position is what I was thinking. It was a tight ball game, and again, maybe that's too conservative, but at that point, our thought was let's pin them in, and which we've done a pretty good job of this year. But today wasn't a great example of the punting the way we want to, but I thought it was pin them in, maybe force a turnover or something like that, or get the ball back in good field position. Yep. And then, the other part is not one about giving them the ball in midfield. Like, I'm not sure I want them to have to go 99, but midfield's a little, at that point, we're right in the middle of things.
Kirk, I
Yep.
want to ask you about quarterback. And when Brendan Sullivan came in, he gave you a charge, partly because of what he can do with his legs.
Mm-hmm.
What is are you going to evaluate the quarterback position, or is it going to remain status quo?
No, we evaluate every position, week to week, but, we're comfortable. I think Cade's improving, I really do. And it sounds funny, with the turnovers today, but I think seems more comfortable. His timing seems better. He was getting the ball out really well in the first half. So, we have to improve as a collective offense, but we'll evaluate everything. But I figured that would trigger something today. That's, a lot of bad things happened today, and that probably one of them. Not that I was glad to see Brendan run. Like, he can do that, and he's done a good job in practice. But we're not ready to, I think, have a controversy at that point or at that position.
Kirk, just those 3 turnovers, what did you see going on?
Yeah, I think 1 or 2 of them were tipped, I believe, and the other one looks to me like the ball just came out of his hand. Looked like he lost a grip on it. So You know, you got to be really careful to get too emotional in evaluating things like this because when you get in a game like this, things usually seem a lot worse than they are in reality. We'll assess that tomorrow when we look at the film and kind of go from there. But, we'll watch the tape and see what's fixable, what isn't, and then reassess things and kind of move forward. But I'm sure there's some protection involved. I'm sure, probably could have done a better job getting open. That's usually, what goes on when you have miscues, run or pass.
From an injury standpoint, anything you can say about Caleb Brown's injury, the nature of that, and then Ethan saw him go down, saw him get up under his own power?
Yeah, I think he's okay. And the other one's just a soft tissue thing that popped up on Wednesday. So, who knows? It's we'll see.
Chad?
I'll just follow up an injury. Ostrengo real quick.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, he had to come out. And I don't know if he's in the sling or not, but they had him strapped up or taped up, afterwards. So hopefully it's nothing too bad. But couldn't go back in the game, obviously.
But then just question-wise, defensively, how would you assess the performance? The top 400 yards, a lot of touchdowns, obviously.
Yep.
But you're in, so I don't know, how do you grade
Yeah, we're in it at halftime, and you're in the game. But again, anytime you assess anything, you have to look at who you're playing to, and think pretty obvious they've got pretty good talented players at basically every position offensively. But those receivers are about as good as you're going to see anywhere. Probably a little bit like Washington a year ago. So that's part of it. You just got to factor that in, and but it's we'll be a better team defensively. We'll go back to work, and you never want to give up that many yards, but we'll go back to work.
Scott? When you look at Ohio State specifically,
Mhm.
they seem to be equally adept in the passing game or the running game. You can't go 4-2-5
Yep.
because they'll try to chew you up on the ground. If you go 4-3, then they can get you with. You've seen some pretty good teams over the last few years. How does this one kind of stack up because of its ability to do so many?
Yeah, time will tell. It's like everything that we all want to speculate on, but it's how things go over 12 weeks or 12 games that you really make that assessment. But as I said Tuesday, you just look at their talent and evaluate it. It's really impressive. They're veteran up front. Excuse me, the receivers are, really good players, and the freshmen might be, as good as I've seen at that point. And then, two good running backs, and the quarterback's done a really nice job. That was a really good fit for him, I think, getting him to be here. And so, you look at them, they can run the ball, they can throw it, they've got a good scheme. Coach Kelly does a great job, and I know Ryan's involved with that too. So they're a good football team, but you got to, play out the season. You never know what's going to happen.
Three more questions. We'll start with Matt.
Kirk, how does this game compare to 2022 game against Ohio State? And where does your team stand now versus that guy?
Well, we lost that one and we lost this one. So pretty much the same there. And, I know we had a turnover issue. I think we had 6 that day. That I do remember. But, you move on. You move on and you try to fix what you can the next day, that next week, and then, the rest of the way. And there's always things to work on in football, certainly, in any sport, I think. So, but, we're not spending a lot of time looking backward. And today was disappointing. We're all disappointed, but, we're going to have to get better, and we'll start that tomorrow.
Going back to the quarterback, you said you felt like Case kind of made strides. I guess what have you seen that kind of gives you that confidence about him?
I just think he's more comfortable and more decisive and, quicker getting the ball out, which he was doing a really good job of that in the first half. They're rushing the pass pretty well too then, and I thought he got the ball out. And, we just have to get better collectively, and run the ball better will help us in that regard too. So, I'm not, I don't know, so I'm not disappointed. Obviously, we wanted more yards and more points. But I'm optimistic, and I think we can get better, and I think we will get better. And I think we got 2 guys that are capable of, hopefully moving our football team with both quarterbacks. But, I think, Cade will be fine.
Last question in the back, please.
Kirk, 5 games this season, all 5 just felt like a tale of 2 halves. You play this team, to a 7-0 game in the first half, and then things obviously much different in the second. I guess what's the common cause, maybe is a way to word it, to why that's not typically been the case?
Yeah, I think every game's different, and every game's its own story, and certainly the opponents are different. And I think it's fair to say, you guys all know sports, this is probably the best team that we've played this season thus far. So, they're an outstanding opponent. You got to keep that in mind. Our focus, my focus, is mostly on how we play, how we perform, and how we push forward. And then the most important thing, single most important thing as we leave for today is what we're going to do moving forward tomorrow. Because if we're looking backwards too long, it's not going to help us next Saturday. So first things first, I mean, once we're through dissecting the film, it's all about trying to get ready for the next game, and we'll do the same thing a week from now. But that's what you got to do.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, everybody.